Yeah, I mean, look, what I realized over time, and this is 100% true, it cannot be debated, that the only way to build wealth is to have enough money consistently to invest.
Yeah.
And have your money grow and not have to dip into that money.
Right.
There is no other way. If you make $100,000,
I mean, you can hit the lotto.
And you spend
you can hit the lotto.
You hit the lotto, yeah.
You could be at
or if you're born
right.
with a freakish ability,
right.
you know,
right.
whatever.
Right.
I get it. And we're not. I'm talking about
the aggregate.
99.9% of people.
Right.
It doesn't matter how much you make. If you don't have the money to invest, and that investment grows over time, because
even if it's in a house or a business,
a house or real estate,
right.
or I mean,
right.
real estate,
multi,
commercial real estate, multifamily, stock market, which is how I made most of my money.
Yeah.
To be able to have that money and have it grow, and not to dip into that money, to keep living below your means
right.
and keep adding to that
right.
year after year. That's the only way to really build wealth.
Right.
Because otherwise, even if you're making a good income, when that stops, and it will stop at some point, you're going to be thrown into poverty.
Right.
If you don't have those investments.
Right.
So most people who don't have investments are, most, like I would say maybe about 30% of the people who drop off my Postmates are senior citizens.
I saw it, yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
When I order, my food and I see who drops it off, it's a lot of old people, man.
It certainly ain't kids like it used to be.
No, I would say 30% are people 65 and over. I can't imagine having to do Postmates to get by when I'm supposed to be retired.
But I remember when I got married. This is the dumbest shit in the world. I was making $4.75 an hour. I worked at the LA Times, $4.75 an hour, right? Mm-hmm. I got married in 1986. 2024, the minimum wage in California. I lived in California, right? 2024, the minimum wage went to $16, right? That's about 75 cents a year for all those years. Mm-hmm. So, and they think that's unreasonable. 75 cents a year.
Yeah.
for 30-some years. And they think that's unreasonable.
Yeah.
It's like, it's how we assess people. We place a value on them. Like nobody thought, fast food workers, anybody could do it. But when COVID happened, you saw how valuable they were. Even right now, you see how valuable they are. So we assign a value and a worth to a thing based on what we think it is. And those people still got to live here and work here. One thing that's happened between California and Texas, poor people that can't afford to live in California move to Texas. Money people, professional people who don't like the things going on, move here. And it's you need a confluence of all those things. But
yeah.
Shouldn't you be able to work and buy a home and live and eat and take care of your family like our families were? Shouldn't you be able to do that?
I mean, these days in LA, forget about it.
But it's like that. See, everybody thinks it's less of something everywhere, but really, it's hard for anybody to get. So minimum wage in, I think Mississippi is $7, $8, $9 an hour.
Just look it up.
Who could live off that? Really? Anywhere in America. I'm not talking about just here. Anywhere.
$7.25 an hour.
Yeah.
You're right.
Who can live off that?
That's less than half of California.
But who can live off that?
$7.25 an hour?
Even there, I'm just asking you, who could live off that?
Yeah, that is the equivalent of $14,500 a year.
Who could live off that?
Nobody.
Even so, but we have we raised this whole cross section of people that literally, and you could call it California, you could call it New York, you could call it whatever, but you can't afford to live where you born, where you work, where you grew up. In most places. It ain't just here. The average American lives, I think, 70% live within 40 miles of 50 miles of where they were born, and another, a large percentage live within 50 miles of where they were born. Like all my family lives here, besides my daughter.
I've always moved around, man. I was born in the Ukraine. I lived in Massachusetts. I lived in the Bay. Then I lived in New York. Now I live in LA. You gotta be able to move and shift and.
But are you making $7 an hour? What can you do?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
What can you do? What can you do?
No, you can't do shit. You can't do
But
shit.
that is acceptable, and people actually argue that they're paid too much. And those people probably work at some place, and those people who are employees still get sick, still need food assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Who pays for that? Society.
Yeah.
While that corporation has used their treasure, their wealth, their wherewithal, and enriched themselves, and they still got to go get public services. That doesn't work.
Yeah. That's what it is, man. D.L. Hughley, man. Always epic when you come through.
Yeah, baby.
Always.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see DL on here every other month. But when you come on here, the tidal waves come.
I gotta wait for you to be able to afford my liquor. That's what
right.
it is.
That's right. We drinking it right now. That's what it is. Till next time. Peace.